Hello learners, I welcome you all to this session on manpower planning process demand forecasting. In these sessions, we will discuss about the trends and technique in HR demand forecasting. I am Dr. Chandrakant Sahu, Institute of Management and Information Technology, Cuttack. So before beginning of the sessions, uh, let us have a review of the previous lessons that we have covered. So in the previous sessions, we have covered or we are discussing about the manpower planning impacting factors and trends. There are many factors that which influence manpower planning, and there are also there are many trends also influence. We have also discussed. Particularly, we have discussed how corona or COVID-19 pandemic has taken the whole world into its grips, and the business or business enterprises have been severely affected, as a result of which there is recession even if in HR. Okay. So in these sessions we will discuss two things, that under demand forecasting we will discuss about the trends and technique. Okay. So let us begin with the HR process, okay, because it will give us an overview of the different steps involved in HR process. Okay. So basically these are two processes I have taken from two sources, okay, but more or less these are same. Okay. So let us have the first one. So basically this first one, like company objectives and strategic plan, when you talk of, this is the something organizational strategic planning, because in the last sessions we have also discussed that HR planning or manpower planning normally integrates that the organizational planning. Okay, therefore at the organizational planning level or strategic planning level, market forecasting is required, production objective or processes or the organizational overall objectives or capital financial plan of the organizations have to be also established. Okay, so there will be time horizons like short term or long term, and this is also in that, keeping that into view, so we have to, or the HR planners have to look into the demand forecasting. Okay, two aspects will be covered. Okay, so this is one is number, that is quantitative approach to, we have also discussed quantitative approach to manpower planning we have discussed, and category means qualitative assessment, means skills competency level also we'll discuss. Okay, all these things are also taken care of. So basically while estimating human resource demand, so there are some of the techniques which are being used. Okay, there are quantitative technique and qualitative techniques are also. So these are used for this. So this is the supply side, HR inventory, that is the existing supply side. This because there is a link between HR demand and HR supply. So therefore that supply side is also taken into considerations. So what is the equations? Equation has to be also seen. Accordingly, manpower action plan is also required, like recruitment, selection or retention, that retraining of the employees, redundancy plan or redundancy, employee redundancy, productivity, retention, all these things are also, and finally it is monitoring and control. So this is also more or less same thing. This is the that environment, that business environment, then organizational objectives and policies we can talk of, then HR needs forecasting, this is called manpower demand forecasting. This side is manpower supply forecasting, internal, basically HRIS we are talking of here, it is demand forecasting. Okay, then we have to bridge the gap through, because as you know that human resource planning or manpower planning is a process of bridging the gap between manpower demand and manpower supply. Therefore HR programming or different HR programs have to be designed. Once the programs are designed, these are the programs normally. So if there is surplus employees, there can be restricted hiring, means hiring process may be freezed. So reduced working hours, VRS or different forms of separations are there also may be implemented. Okay. So this is indeed the relation between human resource planning and various HR functions. If shortage happens, maybe recruitment and selections may take place. So this is once the program is designed, so programs have to be implemented or executed accordingly. Monitoring and controlling or monitoring evaluation should follow. Okay. So these are some of the trends in labor demands. So if you see uh, in the last few years, there are certain trends in human resource planning, forecasting, HR demand. So first trend, if you see, progressive shift from blue collar jobs, both from the service as well as manufacturing. So there is a that now it is service industry that is taking that prominence. Therefore, a lot of demand, white collar jobs are in demand. If you see, shift of this nature is obviously resulting in intersectoral movement of people, with the bulk of the shift being from the manufacturing sector to the service sector. This trend is also there. Okay. Earlier, actually, manufacturing sectors, if you see, so a lot of jobs are there in manufacturing sectors that are unskilled or semi-skilled, but service sectors, if you see, it is highly skilled. Okay. So there is a movement here, there is a shift here. So therefore, when there is a skill shift, there is also if in that employees competency shift. Okay. So second trend, the shift from the agriculture to the service sectors. So agriculture is not lucrative now. Therefore, there is shift to these sectors. Okay. The old trend of rural to urban movement still continues. Okay. Even within a rural settings, there is also rapid growth in the service industry. So basically, what we are talking, service industry, that is taking the front stage. Okay. So third trend, growth in the educated skilled workforce as opposed to the unskilled employees of the past. So there is also a demographic change. If you see, a good number of girls are entering into the job sector, job field, and they are becoming also educated. Okay. So educated employees, more number of educated employees are joining the job field now. Okay. So these changing patterns of the workforce has its own behavioral and attitudinal implication in the workplace. Decline in traditional occupational group. So if you see that traditional that occupational groups like pottery kind of things, these are declining. New classification based on broad skill sets are emerging in today's industry, mainly due to multi-skilling and multitasking. So now instead of a person having single skills, the industry is looking for people who are multitasking. Okay, this is also one aspects that employers are looking for from their employees. Okay, so this is one. So trend 5 is that with the increasing focus on productive improvement, employment in higher occupational grades is also increasing, and the number of jobs in the lower grades is declining. So as we have discussed, more jobs are created for white collar employees rather than blue collar employees because of the emergence of service industry. This is because the knowledge and skills required to manage and operate new technologies and work processes are of higher level than those in the past. This is also one shift in that skill sets. So in the service sector, technical skill requirement are slowly reducing and being replaced by social skills. Social skill is also apart from technical skills also. So social skills are also in demand, that is also required, including interpersonal communication skills and so on. Soft skills to improve customer interfaces are of great value since service is more at a modular than at a component level. So social skill is also required in that employers are also looking for social skills from their employees. Okay. So these are the trends. Another trend is the formal centralized management practices of the past are slowly giving way to looser, more democratic and informal style of management. Informal style of management. So if you see from centralizations to the decentralization style of functioning. So informal uh, style of management is also we are getting this trend. This change is necessary because of the changing profile of people and of the work itself. Okay, so since in that today's industry is looking for white collar employees, and are they need to be connected, they need to be empowered. Okay, that is why they need respect also from the workplace. Employees at all levels needs to acquire broader skills and abilities in order to adjust to new technology and work organizations. Since organization or educational institutions cannot teach every skill or technology, today's workforce need to be intelligent with broad conceptual skills so that they can acquire the right knowledge at the right time in an ever changing world. Okay, so these are the trends. Basically we are getting 7 trends, and these trends are impacting forecasting HR demand. So this is a staff forecasting form. So this is just a sample I have given. So staff forecasting form, how that when you making or when forecasting demand, HR demand, so how what kind of form, a sample form I have given, you can see it. Okay, so number of staff available is 75, you see. So this is demographic, like age wise divisions you can see. So expected retirement, transfer out means vacancy is created. Promotion during the year means vacancy is once again created at certain level. Okay, and certain level the post is also filled up. Less expected transfer, in transfer expectation is not there, a new appointment already made. This is 3. So obviously number of staff to be provided is 5. Okay, so number of staff required on January next year 80. So obviously less staff, this is the availability 75, so 5 more is required. Okay, that means, okay, expected staff losses due to normal wastage of existing staff, this is 15. Once again, that means this is also required, 15 is also once again required because this is the wastage. So expected losses of staff to be recruited in the period is 5. So therefore it is, so this is another loss, this is called 5. Okay, so therefore total how much it is? So it is 5, 5, 15. So this is 25, this is 5, 30. Total staff to be provided during the period 30. Okay, so these 5 you see, short service staff turnover at 20%. This is just a forecast. Okay, short service staff turnover 20% of 25. Okay, like this 5, that means that has to be recruited immediately. Therefore 5 to be recruited by 1st February, others to be programmed that latter. Okay, so this is just one sample staff forecasting form that can be also, this can be also used for that estimating demand for HR. Okay, so let us discuss about the technique. So there are 2 kinds of technique, one is quantitative, another is qualitative. Under there are many other techniques also, but today we will discuss about these 4 kinds of technique. One is work study technique, then ratio trend analysis, regression analysis, modeling or multiple predictive techniques. This is also called that multiple regression analysis is also used. Okay, so qualitative like managerial judgment, Delphi technique, nominal group technique are also used because there are certain limitations of quantitative um, quantitative techniques and qualitative techniques. Sometimes what happens, combination of both technique can also be used. Okay, so to begin with, This quantitative techniques, work study technique, it can be used when it is possible to apply work measurement to calculate the length of operations and the amount of labor required. Okay. So, to apply work measurement to calculate the length of operations and the amount of labor required. So, for example, planned output for next year. So, this is the next year 20,000 unit. Standard hours per unit is 5. So, planned hours for the year. So, how many? It is 1 lakh. Okay. So, therefore, productive hours per man per year is 50. This is simple calculation. It has been done. That means the number of direct workers required, okay, is 50. Okay. So, when we calculate this productive hours per man year, we also calculate this normal overtime, absenteeism, idle time, we also discuss. So, this is obvious that 1 lakh by divided by that 2000, this is the result, this figure has come. Okay. So, this is called simple, this is a very simple technique, this is also used work study technique. Another technique is called ratio trend analysis or ratio trend, this is called ratio trend analysis. Okay. This technique involves studying past ratio. So, when you talk of a trend, it is a past, present and futures. Studying past ratio, say between the number of workers and sales in an organization, and forecasting future ratio, making some allowances for changes in the organizations or its methods. So, this is normally, if you see, let us look at the examples. Okay. So, this is, we are doing this. So, minus 3 years means 3 years before, this is actual. Okay. This is forecast. So, minus the 3 years, before 3 years, the sales could be that 1500,000. Let us say it is, the figure is in 1000. So, employee size is or 1500. Let us say it is 1500. Employee size is that 150. Okay. So, obvious ratio is 1.10. So, minus 2, that means 2 years before it is 1800 and 180. Similar, same. So, last year 1 year before, so 2000, 180. Ratio is 111. 1 is to 11. So, next year, this is forecasting. Okay. So, the sales figure is estimated at 2200. So, employee size is 200. So, it can be 1.11. So, then next year, then after 2 years, 2500, employee size can be 210. So, it can be 1 is to 12. Similarly, so after 3 years, so this can be sales figure 2750. So, employee size can be 230, it can be also 1 is to 12. This is just a ratio trend analysis is in sales versus manpower requirement. Okay. So, this is also frequently being used. So, another technique is that regression analysis. Regression analysis, it's very much, it is a predictive technique. It's a form of predictive modeling technique which investigates relationship between a dependent variable. Dependent variable could be sales, and independent variable, that is called workforce, size, product inventory, like that. Okay. So, this method is statistically sophisticated. If you see the ratio trend, you have seen it's a simple, but normally this method is, it is more or less like that, like ratio trend, but this is more statistically that sophisticated. Okay. So, you let us look at this figure. Okay. Regression line shows the relationship between sales and employee size. This is the regression line. Okay. If you see, okay, this is the employee size, this is sales. If more the size, more the employee. Okay. More the size of sales, more the sales, more the. So, this is a kind of regression line that the model builds up, and it suggests how many people are required. Okay. Similarly, another kind like mathematical modeling or multiple predictive techniques like multiple regression analysis, where there are multiple that variables are there, multiple independent variables are there, like that. Okay. We can use several mathematical models with the aid of computers are also used to forecast HR needs. Optimization models, probability modeling, budget and planning analysis, whereas Trend analysis relies on a single factor like sales to predict employment needs. The more advanced methods combine several factors such as interest rate, gross national product, disposable income, sales to predict employment level. Right? So this can be used also at the macro level. Okay. So while the cost of developing these forecasting used to be quite high, advances in technology and computer software have made rather sophisticated forecasting more affordable to even small business. So this is also basically when there are more number of independent variables, this technique can be also used in human resource planning, forecasting demand. So I have already told you quantitative problem associated with the quantitative technique, because sometimes what happens, it is very much difficult to predict manpower using quantitative techniques. It is often difficult to quantify jobs like productivity increase cannot always be attributed to increased human efforts. Increased productivity due to technology upgradations or the sum total of operational and managerial efficiency, total factor productivity approach are the factors which need to be integrated for that HR forecasting. But developing such models integrating multiple productive variables is not so easy. So not always that human effort does not always that result in improved productivity. There are other factors also. Therefore, uh, qualitative approach the qualitative techniques are being used. Okay, so the one technique is like qualitative technique is managerial judgment. Like in this method, managers sit together, discuss and arrive at a figure which would be the future demand for labor. So it's like the bottom, that approach can be top down, means sometimes top down means top management will tell the figure to the bottom that lower level. Sometimes bottom up approach like grassroots or lower level, it will be it will start up. Sometimes top level, sometimes um, bottom up. It can be sometimes composite, means top down and bottom up. Okay, this is managerial judgment that the manager normally they decides. Okay, it can be top down, bottom up, or both. So Delphi technique is uh, it refers to the systematic forecasting method used to gather opinions of the panel of experts. Panels of experts are they normally participate in this forecasting technique on the problems being encountered on manpower requirement for a planned period. So normally a panel of experts are invited to participate in an exercise. This exercise is also known as Delphi technique exercise. Okay, in other words, a set of opinions pertaining to manpower requirement obtained in writing, usually through questionnaires, okay, often sent from email from several experts in the specific field is called Delphi technique. So the most important criteria that attribute of this technique, that normally the participants or the experts do not interact with themselves. There is absence of direct communications among this. There will be facilitators who will facilitate the discussion process. Okay, so these are the steps involved in Delphi technique. Choose a facilitator. A facilitator plays a key role in this. Okay, identify your expert, then select the panel of experts, define the problem, what is the manpower problem that the organization is witnessing. This can be also okay. Round 1 questions, then round 2 questions, round 3, like that. The round may continue till it gets the that consensus among the experts. Okay. So there is another qualitative technique that is called nominal group technique. Okay. So normally in nominal group technique, unlike Delphi technique, here there is that communications. Okay. So in nominal group technique, experts are given the opportunity to discuss among themselves for assessing the questions. They assess the questions, they discuss among themselves. Under this method, the coordinator or the facilitator assumes the role of facilitators. Coordinator assumes the role of facilitators, allowing the experts to sit together to discuss their ideas, and records of such discussions are made on a flip chart. After this, a roundtable discussion on ideas, experts are asked to rank their ideas according to their perceived priority. Their group consensus is then derived mathematically in the terms of individual ranking. Individual, that question ranking, you say, okay, priority. So, so basically, if you talk of this, that ideally that we have discussed about quantitative technique, we have discussed about qualitative, some of the qualitative techniques, but uh, a single technique may not be always suitable for forecasting demand, HR demand. Okay. So, HR planning should include the use of both qualitative and quantitative approaches. In combination, the two approaches serve to complement each other, thus providing a more complete forecast by bringing together the contribution of both theoretician and practitioner. Wherever technique, whatever technique one might utilize, they need to be done systematically. Okay. So, these are the things. So, let us review what we have discussed today. Today we have discussed the techniques and trends in demand forecasting, HR demand forecasting. Okay. So, with this we will conclude today. In the next sessions, we will discuss about job analysis, how the significance of job analysis in human resource planning. Thank you.